Hi guys, it's Leanne here. This is a really exciting video for me because it's all about my very first children's book that I've written and illustrated, and it is My World, Mackilli and Seeva's Switcheroo. And it's out now on Amazon and Etsy, so I really appreciate your support and thank you for the orders that have come through already. So in this video, I'll be talking you through the story, the characters, the underlying themes behind it, the process of writing and illustrating my first book, and also my goals for this book going forwards. So if you're interested, then please keep watching. So on the surface, this is a fantasy children's book about two young aliens who live in two very different worlds. There's Mackilli, who lives in Wimpole, and Wimpole is a very calm and dark and relaxing place. There's acres and acres of rolling hills, but there's not very much to do. So the aliens that live in Wimpole, they love to use their imagination and come up with amazing stories and magical stories and creatures. And so they do that to pass the time. Seeva, on the other hand, she lives in Stiplop, and Stiplop is bright and colourful and really busy. There's not much time to relax because there's always something to do. You have to be very independent to live in Stiplop. All the aliens live on their own, and Seeva is only 9 years old and she lives on her own already, so it can get a little bit lonely. One day, on his way to school, Mackilli stumbles across a magical portal, and they wish and wish and wish to go to experience different worlds. And when they wake up, they end up in their opposite world. At first, it's really daunting for them. They have to get used to being around different colours and a different environment. But they each have a special secret about themselves that makes them feel a little bit at home. Mackilli's special features are his mop spots, and they are green and pink little spots on the inside of one of his left hands. And he's the only alien in the whole of Wimpole that has other colours other than grey, so he feels a little bit self-conscious about them, and he usually wears black gloves to hide them. Seeva's special feature is her greatness, and her greatness is her big and bouncy grey afro. She's the only alien in the whole of Stiplop that has grey colouring, so she feels self-conscious about that, and she uses a headscarf to wrap her hair. After spending a bit of time in their opposite worlds, they start to see the beauty in the different colouring, and they start to embrace their special features. After another night in the opposite worlds, they switch back and they manage to go home and speak to their family and realise that they don't want to hide their special features anymore. They want to embrace it, and they want to show the worlds that they have these unique colours on their body. So as you can hear from the story, there are quite a few underlying background themes that I wanted to have flowing through the story. The main themes that I wanted to include are confidence, affirmation, acceptance, positivity, and imagination. So I hope that all the children that read this book feel inspired by these themes. I also wanted to create a book that sparks conversation between parent or adult and child. I know that children, especially going into school, they can sometimes feel a bit self-conscious about things that are different about themselves compared to their peers. And I wanted to create a book that allowed them to speak on it. So as you're reading through, I hope parents and adults can maybe ask your child, what makes you feel different? What makes you feel special compared to your friends? And that will help them address these differences that they might feel uncomfortable about, and eventually learn to celebrate them and see them as a positive. So the writing process started earlier this year before lockdown. As quite a creative person anyway, I love writing fantasy and poetry, and it was a refreshing way to pass the time during lockdown. I love writing fantasy and making up my own words. As you know, things like Stiplop and Mimple and rubble hubs and mop spots, they're all made up words, and I really enjoyed creating them, and I think it's really fun for the children to say as well. So now that my world is complete and out there for the world to see, I just hope that it's inspiring and empowering to lots of children and adults as well as they read it to the children. I hope that I can get this out to as many people as possible. And I also want it to be part of a series, so I will be continuing on Mackilli and Seeva's adventures. So if you want to head over to their dedicated Instagram page, it's at Mackilli and Seeva. So you can get involved in different giveaways and challenges that I will have up on there. So yeah, I do have other books in the pipeline as well, taking on from following on from this story. So I'd love for you to get involved in this journey with me. So thank you so much for watching, and as I said, my world is now available on Amazon and Etsy as a hardback and a downloadable ebook. So yeah, if you have any questions or you want to know a little bit more about the book or about me, please send me an email or you can send me a message on Instagram and I'll get back to you. Okay, great. Have a great day and enjoy my world.